Let's have a look at this exam style question. The question says, use your graph to estimate the light intensity, and in brackets it says in candelas, at 0.4 meters from the light source, and that's 1 mark. Let's start by working out what the question is asking us to do. The first part of the question says, use your graph. So, in part A of this question, you should have plotted a graph and drawn a line of best fit. So we need to be using that graph to answer the question. We've also got the word estimate here, and that's the command word, and it means we need to give a rough number or amount based on the information you have, which in this case is the data you plotted in the graph and the line of best fit, which you drew. And we're being asked to estimate the light intensity. And in brackets here, we have a unit, which you might not have heard of, but don't worry if you haven't. It's simply a unit of measurement. We've also got another key bit of information here, 0.4 meters from the light source. Now let's have a closer look at the graph. The x-axis, which is here, is showing the distance from the light source in meters, whilst the y-axis up here is showing the light intensity in candelas. So we need to use the data we have plotted in the graph, and this graph is from the answer scheme, so it's not actually my graph, but it's something that your graph should look similar. And we need to use the line of best fit to predict or work out what the light intensity is. And that's going to require us to find the distance specified in the question and use the line of best fit to read off what the light intensity is for that particular distance. And we know the distance in the question is not 0.4 because we've got it here. So we need to find 0.4 or 0.4, and then we need to go up until we meet our line of best fit. And from that line, we need to read off the graph. So I'm just going to use my ruler and line it up and then draw my line across. Just move that out of the way. Now, if you read off the y-axis, you should see that it's at 100. So the light intensity in candelas is 100. And that is the answer to the question. So all we need to do now is just write in our answer. And so you need to put 100, but remember to add the unit. So candelas. Okay, now obviously with your line of best fit, as it's drawn freehand, your answer might be slightly different depending on where you drew your line of best fit between those 2 points. So within the mark scheme, they'll generally have a little bit of flexibility. So don't worry if you got, perhaps, for example, 96 or 104. The mark scheme will usually allow for a little bit either way.